Whenever you're ready.
All right. Welcome to another episode of First Reaction Van Reaction. I'm your host, Dara Whitman, and here with me is my co-host,
Cailin Clothier.
So a lot happened. A good amount happened.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot of everything
So,
happened.
We're still watching Orphan Black. We're still on season 3, and we're talking about episodes 3, Formalized, Complex, and Costly.
Ooh.
And episodes 4, Newer Elements of Our Defense.
Nice.
So, any initial thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still kind of pissed that was a real cliffhanger ending.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait a while to see the end of that one.
All right. Well, let's start a little bit with Sarah, and then we'll get into everybody else. So, we start off, and Sarah and Felix are putting. If you guys don't remember, in that episode 2, Seth died. R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Seth. He done glitched out and got shot.
And nobody took the body.
No, he didn't the guy didn't take it with him. He's just like, yeah. And then at the end of this episode, he's like, leave no loose ends. Okay, I'm like, that was a loose end. There's a dead body on the floor. Just gonna leave that hanging around. That's fine. All right.
Whatever. So Sarah and Felix have to put it in Felix's bathtub.
Yeah.
They don't really know, and they're just like, there's blood everywhere. It's a mess.
There's so much blood.
Yes. So they're trying to figure out what to do, and then who should be knocking on the door but Art? Cailin's man, Art.
My boy Art, who
he did good this episode.
He was good this episode. Aw, this poor boy. Yeah.
Anyway, so then he sees a dead body, and it's just kind of like, ugh, this.
Yeah. This nonsense.
Yeah.
He's like, because they're like, just ignore it. He's like, I can't ignore it. That's a dead body.
It's not a bag of weed.
It's not a bag of weed.
Yeah. But basically he came over because he had a lead on how to find Mark.
Yeah.
And and the lead was the midwife, so everybody wants Sarah to go with her. Mm-hmm. So they go do that, and meanwhile, while they're like discussing this, Cosima Skypes in on them.
Yeah.
And they want to figure out what's wrong with the Castor clone. So Kasim says, "Can we take his brain?"
Yeah, because they need that genetic material because they don't got that.
No, they don't. So meanwhile, that's kind of, and then Sarah goes off and they find the midwife, and basically they say that Mark ran off with Gracie. Yeah. That kind of thing, and Sarah finds out that Helena's probably pregnant.
Yeah, which is weird.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Let's jump to other characters. Cosima, so she has to get a brain out of somebody's head, and they do that in Felix's bathtub, and it's gross.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And who's gonna clean that bathtub?
Somebody's got to clean it up.
It better not be Felix.
Nope, he's already been through enough.
No, but they get the brain.
Yeah, very intact too.
And they're trying
pristine brain.
They're trying to and then they're like looking through that. Her and Scott are looking through that, and they basically say it's a mess.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I think
all kinds of stuff wrong with it.
I think throughout these episodes we kind of figure out that what their problem is kind of like we mentioned, it's similar to what's wrong with the Lita clones, except that it's in their brain and not in everything else.
Right.
Probably to make sure that they're infertile. Probably. Because why would you want boy clones to be reproducing as well as...
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's for infertility or just or maybe related. Who knows?
But if you're going to make the female clones not being able to carry a child and reproduce, you probably do the same thing for the males.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, they're probably infertile, but it might not be a direct result for the brain thing. Who knows? Because fertility isn't in your brain.
Knows. And also, before I want to talk about Gracie and Mark for a bit.
Oh, yes.
I know you were concerned. I remember you were concerned when their relationship kind of first started off about the whole age difference.
Yeah.
But I think they're growing on you.
A little bit. Gracie just deserves better than all the crazy stuff she has to go through.
But it seems besides the fact that we know everything that we know about Mark, the fact that he's a clone and he's in the military and he's a mole, it seems like he does actually wants to get out and be with Gracie.
Right.
Like, he does love her. And it's
Yeah.
So, there's that, and Gracie's just, like, kind of, like, she's beginning, she's, like, happy to be out in the world, and, like, she gets breakfast.
Yeah,
and
she's
it's
like,
cute.
everything's so exciting.
And she kind of wants to, like, be with Mark in an intimate way. Because they're married, and it's not a sin, and and it's cute.
They can do it.
And he tells her a little bit about the fact that, like, he's actually a mole in the military, and he's still in the military, and he needs to do this one thing.
Yeah.
And mainly, Gracie kind of puts together that there's this guy named something. William Finch is his farm's nearby.
Yes.
And that's why they're kind of, like, around there, and Mark thinks that he might have the original genome that Johansson stole.
Yes.
So that's why they're there, and he kind of tells Gracie all this, and the fact that, like, he needs to do this and they can leave. And she's upset, but I think she's, like, willing to forgive him, and also remembers that, like, oh, yeah, she's pregnant.
Yeah, she needs somebody to help take care of that baby.
With not her baby and her father's baby. Ew.
Yeah.
And she just says, like, don't, don't leave me alone. And he's like, of course. And it's just, like because, like, I think Mark's story's pretty interesting, because, like, everybody else is, like, kind of, like, involved in, like, we're going to do this. And he's just kind of, like, this guy who was, like, given a mission and then fell in love with this woman.
Yeah.
And wants to get out of it just to be with her. Aw.
Yeah. It's, like, it's weird.
It's weird.
Kind of cute.
It's kind of cute. But she wants to help, so she actually goes over to William Finch's farm to try to see if he can get the material, and he's totally trustworthy. No, not even. First of all, he's got a Confederate flag.
Yeah, what's up with that? Are they in the States now, or are they in Canada?
No, I think they're still in Canada.
Why do you have a Confederate flag in Canada? That just means you're racist at that point.
I don't know.
Like, there's no, like, actual reason to have a Confederate flag in Canada, besides the fact that you're racist.
What? I mean, I don't want to go on appearance, but kind of looks like
you would be racist.
He's also kind of creepy with Gracie.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you around? I'm like, oh, buddy, let's not go there.
But anyway, so she gets a box with stuff in it.
Yes.
So that's all that matters. So they open up the box, and turns out the box is filled with, like notes and stuff. Yeah.
Like, test tubes or samples or stuff like that.
And then Mark's like, I'm just going to go over there, but I'm just going to go over there. You tried, it's fine. And they have a nice, like, goodbye kiss thing. Yeah. And he gave her some money to go to, like, a diner just to get some food and have a good day. I'll see you later. Meanwhile, Sarah and I'll talk about it. Sarah and Art are driving to try to. They find out who. They find out, like, where the truck was, because Mark and Gracie had a truck, and they find out that it was speeding. So they find out where it was, which was William Finch's farm. Yeah. So they're heading there. Art's kind of hiding something, and Sarah's, like, trying, and, like, because, like, Sarah's wondering, like, okay, you're back on the force, right? Yeah, you're, like, taking time out to, like, do this, like, like,
what's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up, dude? Anyway, they go to William Finch's farm. They ask about Mark. He said he hadn't seen him, but then, like, after some, like, blackmail, kind of basically says, like, okay, well, the daughter came by and asked for something. Yeah. And then and then they're like, okay, and then Sarah and Art go to a diner, and they're talking a bit, and we learn a bit about Art, because basically Sarah brings up the fact that, like, that night when, I guess, like, when she shot Maggie Chen and, like, that whole thing, she didn't call any of like, the sisters, she called Art. Yeah. And we learn that Art was in love with Beth. Aw. Art. And, like, wasn't she? I don't know why they couldn't be in a relationship. Like, I know they're partners, but I guess that might be it. But, like,
and also Beth was technically with Paul.
Yeah, but, like, she could have dumped Paul.
Yeah, but there was a whole thing. He was a monitor, and
no, I know. Like, I know. Yeah.
And that they were partners. They couldn't be partners and partners.
I mean, they probably could have, like, said, like maybe the police was like, hey, can, like, I don't know.
No fraternization.
Can you not do that in police forces?
No fraternization.
But there's, like, couples in police forces, like,
yeah, right? Without partners, though.
I know, but I'm saying, like, they could have said, like, can we not be partners anymore? Yeah. I'm just saying.
But then, you know it's going to work at that point, they just ruin everything. Life is scary.
So, I mean, so that's kind of why Art's doing this, is because, like, he really cared about it. Do you think anything else happened, or, because, like, that's, like, the way, you popped, like, your eyes popped at one point, that's why I'm asking.
I don't know, I don't know.
You don't know?
There was a realm of possibility.
There's a realm of possibility, but still, your boy Art.
My boy. This poor boy. He's sad. He's a sad boy. He's a sad boy, and his friend is dead.
who we cared about, and so then Sarah says to him, like, you're no good to us if you're not on the force. So he's like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's gonna head out, and Sarah's like, I'll figure the rest of this out, and I will, I'll get it right home.
Mm-hmm.
But and because basically they're still trying to find Gracie and Mark and figure out like what's going on. And but what a coinky dink with Sarah. Gracie's already at the diner that they're at.
Hey,
hooray!
Nice. Very nice. Well, it seems like a small town, so there's probably just only one place to eat in the entire town.
That's true. And so then Sarah confronts Gracie, and they have a discussion about Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically she's telling him about the military stuff, and she's like, "Well, I already knew that."
Right.
Like, obviously, she's like, "Don't."
I already knew that.
Well, it's kind of like, "Don't tell me that my husband isn't honest with me."
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "By the way,"
he's a clone.
and I'm just like, Sarah, I love you, but like.
That was insensitive.
I know that everybody's desperate, but just like this poor girl has been raised like super religious.
Yeah.
Has now learned that
in a cult.
That she's married and banged a clone.
Mm-hmm.
God,
Mm-hmm.
Poor Gracie.
It's a lot to deal with.
Like, we didn't like her for a chunk of season 2.
Yeah, but she's growing. That's not her fault. She was raised in a creepish cult.
Let's finish off Gracie's real story, and I hope nothing bad happens with her. Oh wait, her mother finds her.
Honey.
This bitch.
Honey.
This bitch.
This bitch. I hate this
cunt
bitch.
of a woman.
Oh my god.
You can censor me, it's fine. And basically is like manipulating her into coming back with them, and she does.
Mm-hmm.
Is calling her. She calls her stupid. I'm just like, I hate you, woman.
Yeah, she's so mean to her.
Before we finish up with Sarah, there's not much left with Sarah. Actually, yeah, there's not much left with Sarah, and we gotta do. Yeah, so before we get to this one other thing, basically, let's talk about Elena and Rachel real quick, because their story, there wasn't that much with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elena, basically, we learned that the army learned she doesn't have the defect that the boys have.
Right.
She's trying to bait Paul a bit. You know, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And Rachel seems to be getting a bit better with, like, her brain movement. It's not great, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
And back to, I want to talk about our pharmaceutical entrepreneurs.
Oh, yes. God, I love these guys.
I love it that they're just, like, so out of everything else.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, like, because, like, I feel like with, like, the last, like, 2 seasons, like, yeah, they were out of it, but I don't think they were as out of it.
Right.
This time, it's, like, this is, like, their complete, like, obviously, like, Kasim is aware of, like, what, like, that the Allison's running for, like, school trustee, but, like, everything is just, it's so out of it. So, Allison and Donnie are, like, selling drugs using soap.
Yeah.
Like a nice, like, soap setup.
It's like a nice little soap business.
It's clever.
It's so yeah, it's cute. It's good.
Yeah, there's not a ton with it. There's more in the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then, so they're, like, doing this whole thing, and then Marcy Coates comes in, and we're just like, this bitch. And she's trying to bait them out of the school trustee thing and, like, trying to get them a better house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, yeah. Gotta love them. And that's it for that. Back to Sarah. So, Gracie basically tells her, like, where Mark went, back to the farm, and Mark was there torturing the not 4-inch guy.
Yeah, he's breaking out those military interrogation tactics.
But anyway, Sarah gets there, and actually, while she's there, she gets a phone call from Cosima, who they were trying to check genomes and stuff, and gets the call, and there's a bunch of science talk, but in conclusion, the Castor and Lita clones are siblings.
Yeah.
And I said to Cailin, hey, remember that time when Rudy was making out with that clone Crystal?
It made me really uncomfortable. I had to think about that.
I don't know if everybody knew that.
Yeah.
So, but still.
Yeah.
And also probably Seth made out with her too a bit, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, man. That makes it worse.
So much worse. Anyway.
That is a triple incestuous threesome.
Oh, God. But then Mark Mark sees her, and they have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Basically, Mark finds out that Gracie knows everything, and he's upset about that. And Sarah reveals to him that they're with their siblings.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Yeah, Mark's upset, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go find Gracie and try to salvage the rest of this marriage.
Yikes!
And he's about to, and he's like running away, and then shot in the leg.
There's just from somewhere out in the distance, we don't see who. Just, pow.
Turns out it's Hendrix Johansson's wife, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Hooray, this bitch. And he's just he's trying to like get away, and like she's just like saying like you took advantage of us, you took advantage of my daughter, and he says that he loved Gracie and he didn't, and it's just like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a shot, and then crows fly.
Yep.
And then that's the end.
That's the end of the episode.
And you were like, oh no, he's dead.
She had him at point blank range.
But what's the rule of television? If there's not a body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I thought he was dead or... I was, like, debating when that episode ended, if he was dead or not, because I was like, but I didn't see a body, because that's the rule.
Yeah, but...
Also, like, we'll get to this, but she's so stupid. You had him...
Like, why'd you shoot him the friggin' stuff?
Like, we get to it, like, in the beginning of the next episode, but, like, why didn't you... You had a gun. You could have hit it... Head? No?
Yeah, it was right there. You were literally right there.
Any other thoughts on this episode?
I hate that bitch.
I do too.
God, I hate her so much.
We learned some stuff. Your boy Art got some stuff.
Boy Art got some stuff.
Were you expecting that? Were you expecting that he was in love with Beth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That didn't surprise me.
You know what's funny? Actually, I remember this because like that was actually a big shocker to me.
Oh yeah.
When I first heard it, and then I was just kind of like thinking about like when I was like rewatching it, just like their dynamic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. And then there was just like this like scene with Helena with Art, and she like says like you lie with pigs, and I'm like, that's interesting. So I was like wondering if like maybe like Helena was spying on them and kind of like knew, or like or even like Maggie Chen was like spying on them and like kind of knew that like the way that like they were interacting. Mm-hmm. So I guess like picking up stuff, I'm like, oh, I didn't pick up on that. That's the fun thing of like rewatching a show is just like you pick up on stuff. And you're like, oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah, everything starts to connect, and it's really cool to watch.
Hooray!
Yeah.
So everything's a mess.
Everything's terrible.
There's a lot of blood.
So much. There's always so much blood.
So much. There's more blood than usual.
Everybody's getting shot.
There's brain surgery, kind of. There's actually more brain surgery in the next episode, which we will get to. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be talking about Season 3, Episode 4, Newer Elements of Our Defense.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back.
Yay.
So guess what, Cailin, in this episode, it took us a long time, but we finally have a dead baby.
Yeah, that was something. Like, I was like, oh shit, are they going to pull out like a literal dead baby?
Well, we'll get to it, but because I have some questions about that.
There's a dead baby.
So basically, we cut right back to the end of the last episode, and Sarah's still hiding from Bonnie, who's got a shotgun.
Yeah. And
then she runs into the field to find Mark, and Mark's alive. She shot him in like the gut.
Yeah.
She's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, if you want somebody dead, you shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And then these other guys come back, and she's like, he's in the field, so you go handle it. Like, why didn't you handle it?
I don't know. Maybe she's got to think about that.
It's because you're a woman, and you don't think you can, even though you shot him.
Maybe she's like all about those 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill, Dara. Thou shalt not kill.
How does she treat her daughter?
It doesn't say, thou shalt not lock your daughter in a thing in the entire mouth together. It says nothing about that shit. But thou shalt not kill.
All right. So the little bit... Okay, so Sarah finds Mark, and he's injured. I think, like, he basically explains, like, kind of his, like, wounds, probably because he's, in the military.
Yeah.
And he says, like, he'll probably, like, live, but they need to, like, patch him up a bit. So they find an abandoned house. And they're bonding a bit, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, they have to. Sarah has performed surgery.
Well, there's doing surgery, and she's just like asking him questions as she's doing the surgery. Basically, so he says like the gut's fine, but there's a bullet in his leg, and he needs to get it out.
Yeah.
And so while she's like helping him with that, she's asking him questions, basically saying, like, where's Helena? And Mark says, I haven't been there for a year. They're mobile. She could be anywhere. I'm sorry.
Right.
What were you looking for? And explaining the whole thing with Johansson and the original genome. Mm-hmm. And they're basically like them. They're just trying to find a cure for what's wrong with them. Mm-hmm. It's a whole mess.
Whole thing.
But they get the bullet out.
Yeah, the bullet gets out. They kind of bond over that stuff. What a thing that was.
Yes. And Mark passes out a bit. He's not dead. He's just because we properly know how to check a pulse this time.
Yay. We learned, guys. Third season, we finally know how to check a pulse.
And Sarah takes his keys and goes back to the hotel room to see if she can find anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Allison.
Okay, let's do it.
Because why not?
Why not?
So Allison is keep going. Her drug business is going quite well.
Yeah.
She's getting a lot of support. And but Donnie comes in and says, "I think somebody was following me."
Mm-hmm.
And Allison's like, "Well, let's just be cool about it. But let's like move everything out of the house."
Right.
So as they're moving, there's a guy like in their yard.
Mm-hmm.
Basically says like the stuff that Ramon technically like probably wasn't supposed to sell that stuff.
Right.
But he did. Whatever.
Yeah. Ramon got in some trouble, which is why he ditched the business.
Yeah. But and so the person says, get a sitter, and he names their children, which is never a good thing.
Yeah, because he knows.
And basically saying the main guy wants to meet you. Yep. So they're like, fine, and then they go to the thing, and apparently the person only wants to meet Allison. Right. And there's some funny bits with like Donnie and the gun and like him trying to be cool.
He's always trying to be so cool, but you don't have to be cool, Donnie. It's okay.
So Allison's like, fine, and steps into the car to meet the king, the drug lord guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. He is. Turns out his name is Jason Kellerman, and it's Allison's ex-boyfriend from high school. What the heck? Don't you love it when that happens? Were you surprised by that?
Don't you love it when your ex-boyfriend is the local drug dealer?
Were you surprised by that?
I thought it was funny. I was not sure if I was surprised.
And he's also like, he wasn't like a what's the word I'm thinking of? Jilted lover. Yeah. He seemed like really chill.
He was just chill. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude.
I love the guy. The actor is Justin Chadwick. Do you know who he is?
No.
Not familiar? Mm-hmm. He's like one of those actors, I've like looked into his, like, I've seen him in a couple of things. He's like one of those actors where like his TV career is actually not that bad, but then his movie career is shit.
Oh, yeah?
Because I know he was on Shameless for a bit. Okay. And I know he was in Super Babies, Baby Geniuses too. Oh. And he was actually in one of your favorite movies of all time. Oh, wow. And it was perfectly cast in the role. He was Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That was perfect casting, right?
Perfect casting, yep.
I actually haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, I've only seen parts of it.
You're not a big Dragon Ball fan?
Yikes, nah.
Just the Last Airbender movie. 10,000 subscribers, guys.
10,000 subscribers.
We'll review the movie.
Oh my God, I hate everything.
But, and Alice basically convinces him, like, I can sell these for you. Mm-hmm. Like, you're good. And I think, like, Kellerman was kind of, I guess, like, he was really concerned, like, about Allison getting into this. And, like, I think would like be willing, like, hey, like, if you guys want to back out, mm-hmm. It's fine. Like, we'll just take the drugs and go. Yeah. It's fine. But she's like, I can, like, look, I know these people will be good. Mm-hmm. And,
yeah, she's like, she makes some promises. She's like, I can get, like, double, blah, blah, blah. She's got this neighborhood down pat.
Yeah, so I think we're good. And everything's all good. So, hooray. Woo. Let's talk about, Cosima for a bit. Okay. So she's depressed because she's single and Mrs. Delphine. Yeah. And it's so sad. So Felix is trying to make her better, so they go a bit for drinking, and Felix wants to put her onto a blog called Sapphire, which I think is a real, like, dating website.
Is it?
I looked it up a little bit. I think it's just like a real dating site for lesbians.
Nice.
Well, there's Grindr exists. Of course, it's a site for lesbians.
Yeah. I didn't hear of that one before.
I don't know. I was looking it up a little bit, and then helps out. And then that kind of involves more with Sarah, because Sarah gets to the hotel and finds the box and is, like, sending her, Cosima, like, notes about what's going on, like, the data stuff. We also learned that Johansson was actually Duncan's lab assistant.
Yeah, so they actually, like, worked together.
So they're trying to figure out where the genome is, and it turns out Johansson took the Castor genome, the original, and impregnated his wife? I think it was supposed to be his wife.
He's really got a thing with that, huh? He really likes impregnating people, doesn't he?
That's not even, like, the fun way.
That's...
Not even the fun way.
Not even the fun way.
No. Anyway. And that's kind of the end of Cosima's thing. Yeah, let's get into the Breslin thing. So Gracie. Mm-hmm. So Gracie goes back to this with her mother and puts away her wedding ring. I don't think she's, like, totally over Mark, which kind of whatever.
Yeah, no, she's like, yeah, she, like, puts it, she doesn't throw it away. She just kind of puts it away for a little bit.
And they go to this house, and there's a bunch of people there, including this, like, old senile blind man.
Yeah.
You were still kind of creeped out about?
I'm a little creeped out by him.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't really matter that much. Anyway, so Gracie's there, and she's like, okay, we're good. And then she has a miscarriage.
Yep. There's blood everywhere.
Oh, this poor girl.
This poor girl can't catch a break.
Here's the thing. I don't think she really wanted to be pregnant.
No.
But, like, so this might have been God just being like, y'all don't want to be pregnant. Here you go.
No, but also it's the only thing keeping her safe.
Well, now there's 2 dead babies.
Right, wow. Awesome. Way to go, Dara.
Hooray! Dead baby jokes are the best.
Oh, no.
And then she's like laying down on the ground and they're like praying to like help her out. And she's still and I'm just like, she's a bloody mess.
Yes.
And I'm just like, can somebody clean her up?
I know.
And then her mother just like casts her out. And I'm just like,
that was the only thing keeping you here. Bye.
On the plus side, maybe she can just like pack her clothes and like, I don't know, like find a good life.
Maybe, come on, girl.
Yeah.
Gotta make something of yourself.
Like go find, like Mark loves you. Maybe you can find him or like, I don't know, go like find somebody, go find Clone Club. They'll help you.
Yeah. Your situation is nothing compared to what some of those guys have been through.
Yeah. Like, I know having a miscarriage sucks, and it probably hurt a lot. I think
it's very painful.
I think it hurt a lot. I've never been pregnant, guys, so I don't know.
Disclaimer.
So that happened with Gracie, and we just feel bad for her. Okay, let's go to Helena. So Helena's trying to figure a way out. She's like eating a meat thing, and like is trying to make a key out of bone.
Yeah.
And I think...
That's smart.
But first she actually, like, makes, like, a tourniquet out of, like, some lace.
Yeah.
I think she tries to get out back into the infirmary and then is trying to, like, figure out a way out.
Right.
And it works for a little bit and then the drugs take effect and she gets knocked out. But she scopes
out the place.
She sees another clone and he's, like, they're doing something. It's weird.
Yeah, they're doing some experimentation kind of stuff.
Yep. And the Scorpion's still trying to help her out.
Mm-hmm.
But then at night, Helena uses the bone and gets out.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds the other clone named Parsons, who is the most sympathetic clone out of all of them so far.
Not the worst character
that we barely knew.
Yeah.
So I think they were trying to experiment. Like, how do you like? Was he just like glitching, and then they like said like we're just gonna keep you here and dissect your brain, or did they draw straws?
I don't know. My theory was that like he like started glitching a little bit, and they're like, okay, we're gonna solve this problem by
they like open like they
lobbing your head off.
Yeah, they lob his head off, and they're like barely they're just like he's like probably in pain and is just like being kept alive.
Yeah,
for dumb reasons.
For like because it looks like they're doing some research on the brain, and
like so like his brain's like exposed,
and
he is just like begging for death.
Yes, he's like, kill me, please kill me. And I'm like, how did this kill? What are you gonna do?
Well, Helena does the correct thing and kills him.
Yeah, she puts him out of his
misery. Being really nice about it. She's just like, we've both been abandoned. I'm gonna end your suffering.
Mm-hmm.
But first she like hits the like probably like not a good part of the brain because he's in pain.
Yeah,
and then like she jilts a different way and then he's dead.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, aw,
poor guy. Huh?
Poor guy.
Poor guy didn't deserve this.
He didn't from his shit mother.
Mm-hmm.
Helena's words. And then, because, like, that's the thing is, like, Helena had a way out and she probably could have just run and she's like, nope, I'm going to do the right thing.
She did the right thing.
Did not listen to the Scorpion.
Good for her.
Hooray!
But also, she probably got captured after that, so.
No, she did, yeah.
Yeah, instead of getting out of there.
Well, anyway, back to Sarah. So, after Sarah sends all the stuff to Cosima, Mark wakes up and finds her, and because she had called an ambulance to get him out.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
No, so then, but then Sarah explains like Johansson used the extra genome to make another clone.
Yeah, does he have a son or what?
So they and Mark is like that's like triggering like something like he's aware of.
Yeah.
So they drive over to this house where Johansson and Bonnie first lived. They like have to drive back to this like cemetery thing because it turns out the son is dead. More dead babies. Were you thinking that this like guy was alive?
Babies. I kind of I was curious if he was.
Yeah,
like because you never see him before. You think it would have been the rest of the stuff. I'm like, oh, maybe he has a story. Maybe this is a new character. No, it's just a dead baby. Okay,
dead baby for the win.
No, but dead babies are bad, Dara.
Well, I mean, it's not like it was a murdered dead baby.
Just a dead
baby.
Dead baby.
Anyway,
somehow how he keeps saying it over and over again just doesn't help.
So then his name was Abel, actually.
Yeah, which is fitting.
Fitting.
Betty.
And Sarah has to like dig up the grave because Mark's again a bit injured. And then he passes out again, like you do. And Sarah's like digging up the grave and finds the tiny coffin. Mm-hmm. But then there's somebody else there, and it's Rudy, who had a mission to go find Mark, and he did.
It's Rudy to booty.
Hooray.
Oh, no.
And Sarah's like, I think in a panic because she's not acting super smart.
Yeah.
Because she's like, well, like, because Rudy says, like, I'm the one with leverage. And I'm like, Sarah could just take the box, and then you're screwed. Mm-hmm. But she hits Rudy over the head and runs and doesn't take the box. Because, again, she probably should have taken the box. Mm-hmm. And it's like this actually really creepy scene with Rudy and Sarah. Because she's like trying to hide from him, and he's like mimicking Kira. And it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Like, I think what's interesting with them, because, like, we learned through Mark that, like, they're all kind of raised together. Mm-hmm. So, like, their personalities are fairly similar, but there's, like, slight distinctions.
Yeah. Which
I think is different compared to Lead Clones, where it's, like, you can definitely tell them all apart. Mm-hmm. So, do you find that interesting, or are you, like, not?
I think it's kind of interesting, I think. Yeah. A little bit.
I think they just want to do something different. Like, they didn't want to...
it is different. They didn't, like, rehash anything.
I think that's the thing. They didn't want to rehash anything. Mm-hmm. But eventually, Rudy finds Sarah, but then Mark wakes up and is like trying to like stand his brother down, and even says like, "You can just kill me if you want."
Yeah, but he's his superior officer.
Yeah, but Rudy can't kill his brother.
No, well, and also like there's an interesting thing because, Mark says before that they were taught not to have attachments, kind of being the part of the military, so they still have that weird like respect for like the system or like the hierarchy of things. So like he still respects. So I feel like Rudy still respects Mark not out of being a brother, but of being a superior officer, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. So just how they're raised and how they.
Well, I kind of wonder like if you think about it, because like if they do have that kind of slight damage, they might actually be closer than the Clone Club technically. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But so they're gonna just like head out, but then Rudy says we don't leave loose ends, and Mark says no, we don't. And then it comes to Sarah,
and then it just ends right there. Yep. All right, that's fine. Just make me wait like a whole another like 3 or 4 weeks to figure that out. Thanks.
It's fine. It's probably totally fine.
It's probably totally okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. Not a big deal.
So what do you think of these episodes?
I like these episodes. I think a lot happened. A lot with the boy clones. Mm-hmm. The boy clones I find really interesting, so like I don't mind spending a lot of time on their story arc.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if people were like, yo, I want to learn more about these guys, or like just bring back the other guys, but I like learning more about these guys and figuring out how all that stuff works. So
yeah, I definitely like. I find it interesting. I'm kind of like, because like I forgot like these episodes, like especially these like past 4, they feel a bit slow. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember, like, if it's all slow until, like, near the end, and then it's, like, it shows, like, you're just, like, building up to something.
Right.
Which, like, for the most part, like, when it comes to a show, like, as long as you're, like, what you're building up to is good, and it's, like, actually really interesting and compelling, I don't mind it. Like, I'll forgive a slow build-up if it's leading to something good. Mm-hmm. And that's what this kind of, like, because, like, rewatching it, like, I'm like, oh, this kind of feels like this, I guess, we'll find out if it stays that way or builds back up to something more intense.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm kind of wondering also, because, like, season 2 was, like, intense.
Yeah, a lot going on.
So, like, maybe they want to, like, see, like, if they can, like, slow it down a bit.
Yeah, I do think it feels slower, but not necessarily. I feel like things are still happening, though. It's just, like, not as much happening at one moment.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's good.
All right. I think that's it. Do you want to do a comment corner?
Yeah. All right, I have a couple to read. I have one here. This is the comment corner, and I have these 2 from our most recent reaction. Well, most recent from when we posted it, which is like our season 2, episode 7 and 8.
Yeah.
I have one from Pat the Man, who comments a lot, and he says, "You guys should react to Bitten after we finish up Orphan Black." Hey, you commented this before.
Yeah, I was actually curious.
Hey, Pat.
Because the second time you brought this up, so I was like looking up Bitten, and technically it's a show that's over. So that kind of is a rule, and it's also really short. It's about, I think, like a little over 30 episodes.
Okay.
But the thing is, neither of us have seen it. One of us was probably. I mean, I would do it out of mind. I think they're all on Netflix. If you want to, Pat, if you want to confirm that every season's on Netflix,
yeah,
I will watch it and I will be the fan. Or if Cailin wants to be the fan, she can do it. It's fine.
Yeah. Or maybe if this doesn't fall under first reaction, fan reaction, maybe in the future when we make some new series that we can review.
Yeah, like we're not against doing the show. It's just like neither of us have seen it, and that's like not
really,
the rule.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit in our criteria for this show specifically. So if you guys want to support us, you can always, we have a couple different avenues. You can, if you want us to do some more shows, let us know. We would love to do them. We just need your support. Mm-hmm. So I have another comment from Steve. Last week we Steve had a nice comment for us, but this one is just love these reactions so much. I look forward to them all week.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Also, if you notice, because I'm actually on that right now, his icon
is
Casima's laptop.
Yeah, I just realized that because I'm like,
yay! So good for you, Steve.
Yeah. All right, and I have an iTunes review. You want to check this one out?
Yes.
So
what they give us?
We got 4 out of 5 stars.
That's my second favorite rating.
So just so you guys know, we are on iTunes, and you can we will also read those reviews, good or bad. Let us know. But yeah, you can go over there, and that's also a good way to listen to us is through iTunes. If you're not doing that right now, so who knows? But this is from R. Stewart CIH. I have no idea how you say that. Hi, R. Stewart. I guess you're listening.
Hello.
I'm assuming it's he. Could be a person of any gender, because who am I to judge? But anyway, they say, nice work. This is a quick recap of well-chosen shows that deserve another watch. Thanks, gals. Thank you. That's a really nice review.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So thank you for being our initial iTunes review.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate anything as long as it's not like generally like saying we just saying we suck.
Yeah,
if you think we suck, tell us why.
Yeah,
and we can probably work on it because we might have problems.
Yeah, because we're still relatively new at this, I think. Maybe not the newest, but we are still early in our careers, so we have a long way to go, I'm sure.
Yep.
And one day we'll look back at this and probably cringe. But then a few years later than that, we'll look back and think of it fondly. So it's all part of the growth.
I was like re-listening to like some of like the Firefly stuff. That's a bit cringy.
Yeah.
like I think we're fine, but like the audio.
Oh yeah, some of the audio for that was really bad.
And also like our intro episode, I was like, that's kind of like
that was bad. But that's part of the growth process. So if we recognize it's bad, that means we're getting better.
Hooray!
Yay! And so that's all I have to say.
All right, well, that's the end of this episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember that you can subscribe and like and comment, and remember to turn on those notifications. We passed 350 a while ago. We might be more than that now, like up to 400 soon, maybe.
Hopefully, maybe. We record this a while in advance, so we're just really hoping.
Yep, and as mentioned, we are also on iTunes, so if you want to subscribe and leave a rating and a review, that would be lovely.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, facebook.com/wittyclothes, so you can like us there. We're on Twitter at wittyclothes if you want to follow us. If you want to maybe donate some money and help us grow, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/wittyclothes. If you have if you want to email us anything that's not inappropriate, you can email us, wittyclothes@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it for that. So for this episode, of First Reaction Fan Reaction, I'm Dara Whitman.
And I'm Cailin Willie.
Peace.
Peace.